afternoon, Pastor Chris here again, and I have another list of resources for you. Today it's going to be for Christian women. And to be honest, I do rely heavily on Maddie to help me with this and pick some of her favorites that have been just great resources for her in the past few years. And so just know that she has read them. I've read 3 of them. Actually 4 of them that I'm going to be suggesting to you today, but she as a woman definitely highly suggests them as well. So I'd look forward to hearing from all of you if you read them and choose to be able to incorporate them into your lives. So to begin with, we have a couple of books by this author. Her name's Rosaria Butterfield, and she has this specific book called The Secret Thoughts of an Unlikely Convert, and it is a tremendous story, her personal story of coming to faith, and just a really great book, very encouraging in a lot of ways, just even encouraging on how to reach out to people with very different worldviews from us as Christians. So just to give you a little bit of a background, Rosaria was an English professor in New York, and she was part of the LGBT community, and the Lord used a pastor and his wife there to reach her, and she has been on fire for the Lord since then, and it's just a really good book, very encouraging. She has another one that Maddie has currently borrowed out, called The Gospel Comes with a House Key. I would highly recommend that as well. Both tremendous books. The next 2 books are going to be from the same author as well. This author is Gloria Fuhrman, and this is called Glimpses of Grace. And Gloria, in both of the books that I'm going to suggest to you today, actually breaks her books down into 2 different sections. This particular section or book is basically called Treasuring the Gospel in Your Home. So very, very good book for stay-at-home moms, for mothers with young children at home or homeschooling and just dealing with that. And she breaks this particular book down into these 2 parts: your foundation in the mundane and the miraculous in the mundane. And it's just a really good book pointing people back to, and women specifically, back to the gospel and how it actually informs and interacts in their everyday life when it seems like everything just seems to be boring and mundane and the same thing over and over again. The next book that I wanted to just talk about by her again is Missional Motherhood, and just really does a wonderful job of laying out God's plan for motherhood. And this book is broken down into the grand plan of God in motherhood and the everyday ministries of motherhood. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people, and women in particular, don't really look at their life as ministry, but it's the greatest ministry you can have when it's spent as a mother bringing up your children. So those 2 books by Gloria Fuhrman are great books and easy to read as well. Lastly, this is just a biography called Susie. This is the life and legacy of Susanna Spurgeon, so Charles Spurgeon's wife. And this just came out last year and just really gives a great look at the life and the effort that the wife of the famed preacher Charles Spurgeon had, and all that she had been putting into ministry beyond what even Charles was doing. So this is a wonderful book that just really gives you a good perspective of a good example as a godly woman, and how she spent her life just ministering to her own children, ministering to her husband, ministering in the church and to other pastors, trying to give them resources and send them out, even in the midst of her own health struggles. She had a lot of difficulties in life, and so it does really give a great perspective on just the life of a godly woman. So I would just suggest all of these books that I have showed you today. Like I said, the 2 from Rosaria Butterfield are incredibly good books. I would really suggest reading them first and then working your way through these. They're all very readable books, very applicable books that will help encourage you in your Christian life as a woman, as a wife, as a mother. So pick them up and just enjoy them. Let them encourage you. Let them help you grow in your faith, and be blessed. Have a great day.